Hello queens. I'm back at y'all with another client tutorial. Today I'm showing y'all how I created this fall look, and without further ado, we're jumping straight into the video. I'm starting this off by cleaning my client's face. Now that her face is all clean, we're just going to proceed with her eyebrows. So I'm using my LA Colors dark brown eyebrow pencil to outline her brows. The front of her brows, I'm going in with my Nicka K pencil, and it's in the shade light brown. Now that both of the brows have been outlined, I'm going to start filling them in from the back and working my way to the front. To clean up my client's brows, I'm going in with these two concealers, and first I'm taking the Nicka K concealer in the shade 07, and I'm using it to clean up underneath her arch. For the remainder of the way, on the top and the bottom of my client's eyebrows, I'm just going to be going in with that Arcade by Kiss concealer in the shade Chestnut. Now that both brows have been cleaned, I'm taking some of my Dermablend Translucent powder and I'm applying it to the front of her eyebrows to lighten them up, and I'm also using it to set some of the concealer in place. For an eyeshadow base, I'm going in with my camo concealer in the shade White, and I went ahead and applied some on her lids. Now I'm just blending it out using this blending brush. I'm not sure where I got it from, y'all. Probably AliExpress if I had to guess. But when you're blending out your eyeshadow base, try to make sure it's as even as possible, because if you have an even base, then you should have an even eyeshadow application as well. To start off this eyeshadow look, I'm taking these two eyeshadows from my Jaclyn x Morphe palette. I'm going to have the shade names in the description box down below. But I'm starting off with that reddish brown shade, and I'm using it as my transition. So I'm applying it to the outer edge of her eyes first, and then I'm going to start working it inward. Now I'm taking that dark brown shade and I'm working it into her crease using this Wet n Wild taper blending brush. I decided to go in with another eyeshadow. This one is also from my Jaclyn x Morphe palette. As y'all can see, it has more of a reddish tone than the initial shade that we used. So I'm just tapping it on top of that dark brown. Then I'm going back in with the dark brown to make sure that everything is nice and blended. I'm taking this dark brown metallic shade and I'm just working this on her lids using this Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. I think this whole eyeshadow look consisted of eyeshadows from my Jaclyn x Morphe palette. Y'all, I love that palette so much. But as you can see, I'm just packing this color on. This is a no-cut crease look, so it doesn't have to be neat, it just has to be blended. And now I'm going back in with my camo concealer in the shade White, and I'm applying this to the inner corners of her eyes to make them pop. And then I'm taking this pigment from Ashley Lee Cosmetics. It's in the color Silver Milky Way. And I'm going to be tapping this on top of her eyeshadows. I didn't go in with any adhesives. I just went in with the pigment itself. To line her eyes, I'm going in with this Wet n Wild brown liquid liner, and I'm only going to be using this to line the edge of her lash line. Now I'm taking this dark brown eyeshadow on a pencil brush and I'm using it to smoke out the edge of her liner. I like to do it in the shape of a wing. Moving on to the face, I went ahead and moisturized her face using my Pond's moisturizer. Now I'm just taking my e.l.f. Matte Poreless Putty Primer on this damp Real Technique sponge, and I'm applying it to her skin. It's going to serve as our primer, and then I'm going to be going in with these two combinations. This is the foundation and concealer that I will be using. First, I'm going in with the Nicka K concealer in the shade number 10, and I'm going to be using this to color correct around her mouth and wherever I see fit. Now I'm going in with my Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation, and I believe it's in the shade Mocha, and I'm just going to be applying this all around her face. To highlight her face, I'm going in with another Nicka K concealer, and this one is in the shade 07. In this next clip, I'm going to be showing y'all how I contour the nose. I normally cut this scene out of my tutorials because I usually stand right in my client's face to do so. But as y'all can see, I'm contouring and I'm using my Juvias Place foundation stick in the shade Katsina. I like to line up both sides of the nose right on the bridge, and I try to get it as centered as possible. Then I go in with a little bit more concealer just to clean up the lines, and just to make sure everything is nice and blended and not too harsh, I go in with my sponge, and I also go in with the foundation brush, and I make sure I really press in the edges. And after that, I just go in and clean up the concealer underneath her eyes. To set the concealer in place, I'm going in with my Morphe loose powder, and it's in the shade Banana. I'm taking my Black Radiance pressed powder in the shade Black Coffee, and I'm using this to bronze up her face. To set the remaining areas of her face, I'm going in with my Fit Me pressed powder in the shade Truffle. I'm taking some black eyeshadow on a small detail brush, and I'm using it to line the edge of her waterline. Now I'm going back in with my foundation brush, and I'm using it to press in all of the powder. Now I'm just going to lock everything in place using some setting spray, and then we're going to move on to her lashes. I went ahead and cut them to fit her eyes off camera, and now I'm just gluing them onto her lash line. As y'all can see, this face is coming together, and now we're just going to move on to the highlight. So I'm taking my Be Perfect Carnival XL highlighter, and I'm using it to highlight her cheekbones. And to highlight her cheekbones, I'm also using this blending brush from Morphe. I believe it's the E27. And once I'm finished highlighting, we're going to be moving on to lips. And to outline her lips, I'm using my Juvias Place foundation stick in the shade Congo. This step is optional, but if you ever have a problem blending out your liner, I recommend that you do it. I like to go in with the clean Q-tip and just blend out the edges of the liner before I go in with the actual lipstick. And for the center of her lips, I'm going in with this Nicka K lip gloss, and I believe it's in the shade Mocha. I mainly apply it to the bottom, and then I have my client press her lips together to help me blend the lip gloss into the liner. And once it's all blended, we'll be getting into the grand reveal, so I'm gonna let y'all watch. Okay, you ready to see?
Oh, I like this red. making my hair look poppy.
And do. Period.
Right.
Okay, queens, we have made it to the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed filming it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you follow me on Instagram. A link will be in the description box down below. I'm gonna try to keep these client tutorials coming in for y'all because I know y'all are tired of me taking breaks. So stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye, queens.